Thanks for staying with us. Ncora Dairy Farm in the Eastern Cape has just etched its name into the history book. It signed a groundbreaking deal to be the first black-owned dairy farm to supply Danone. The partnership is worth 75 million rand a year and will see thousands of Jersey, crossbreed and milking cows producing approximately 10.5 million litres of milk. This deal will also indirectly benefit over 1,200 community members. Let's find out more about this deal with Nosi Biko, who is head of Cycles and Procurement at Danone South Africa. Nosi, thank you so much for your time this evening. Some might read about the story and say, wow, one of the first black-owned dairy farms to become a supplier for this giant food supplier, Danone, while others might say, why has it taken so long? Talk to us about the systems that have been put in place in terms of development of agricultural businesses by Danone that has led to this moment.
Yes, thank you very much, Marcel. So for us, I mean, it's not something that's out of the blue. We've been working tirelessly to actually try and find the right emerging black farmer to work with in this space. And for us, I mean, milk is our key ingredient. So this is the space where we figured we would have the most impact, and also it's a partnership that we feel would be beneficial for both parties. So this has been a culmination of quite a long process for us. And when the opportunity came and we spoke to the team from Amadlelo Agri, we saw that Ncora Dairy is the perfect dairy for us to partner up with.
Talk to us about that process. What do you go looking for in a business of this kind before deciding to bring them on board as a supplier?
Yeah. So the key thing is, I mean, to not want to find the perfect dairy, you know. The point is you want emerging farmers that you can work with. Some of the complexities we saw were that some of the farmers don't have access to, they actually have the infrastructure but don't have the cows. So there's a lot that still needs to be done to get them to a point where they would be able to supply us. And for us, I mean, there's certain standards that we need as Danone. So we want to partner up with people that we know are passionate about regen agriculture, passionate about making sure that animal welfare, soil health, and just the carbon emissions are reduced. But it also doesn't mean that you need to already be there. You know, for me, it's the willingness to embark on that journey. And that's some of it that we looked at in terms of this. And Ncora Dairy really ticks all those boxes for us.
Tell us about what makes up this deal now. Obviously, they're now a supplier, but is that the sum of the deal? Is that where your involvement ends, or is there some kind of give and take in that you'll be getting involved in expanding the business perhaps as well?
Yeah, no, so definitely, I mean, this is the start of big things to come. So for us, it's not about you sign a milk agreement and that's it, you know. Even in our contract, we've listed a lot of other projects that we want to embark on with the community of Ncora. So for us, it's the start of a journey. It's a partnership. We don't look at it as just a supply agreement and let's end at just buying milk and they supply us. For us, it's about looking at the community, what is needed to even make this bigger. So currently we're looking at 10% of the volumes coming from Ncora for our total milk volumes that we need as Danone. But the point is to get to a point where we can double that, you know. So how do we upscale and make sure we get to volumes that are actually, I mean, helping more people? So we've got 35 of the community members working at the dairy, but we want to make sure we create more employment.
I understand in terms of how the dairy is set up that it is a profit share system whereby its holding company, Amadlelo Agri, I believe it is, they own movable assets, and then there's also ownership from community members in 10 of the villages in that area. When Danone is deciding on signing on the dotted line for things like suppliers, how much of that do you take note of? Because that kind of involvement in community upliftment and business development as well is no longer just a nice to have, isn't it? It makes business sense because it really does improve your bottom line in the end.
Yes. No, definitely. I mean, it really makes a huge difference to know that we've got the community members also as shareholders in this, you know. So for us, I mean, when we commemorated the signing of this, we made sure that we had employees from the farm. We had some of the trustees from the community coming up to Danone and actually seeing where the milk goes. So for us, it's not just, you know, you go and you sign and that's all it is, but it's actually making sure that they're also very clear on where the milk is going, tasting the product. And for me, that's when it's a win-win.
Can you tell us more, just in closing, about what Danone's plan is, or what your commitment is to ensure that this dairy does not remain the only black-owned dairy farm to be a supplier? We all know about the barriers to entry to the agricultural business. There have been great strides made in the right direction, but we're still hearing about issues about access to land, access to those very important distribution points. Volume is an issue, and that's why a story like this is great, because this is a conglomerate of farmers that has gotten together, and they've been established now for almost a decade, if not longer, already. What is Danone's plan in that direction?
Yeah. So I mean, our plan is to work at constantly increasing that volume contribution of these emerging farmers. So when we started this, we even spoke to the Department of Small Business Development to try and get access to who else is in this space, you know, to get details of other farmers. So our commitment is to keep looking. We don't want to just enrich one area. So yes, now it's Ncora Dairy in the Eastern Cape, but there's more, you know, what can be done in the Northwest, what can be done in the Free State, and in a lot of other rural communities. So that is our commitment. Our commitment is not just to have 10% of our milk volumes coming from Ncora, but to up that to possibly get to 30, 50. I mean, there's really no limit, you know. For us, as long as we can find the right partner, we are willing to make sure that we then sign an agreement like this.
Well, let's hope we can hear more and more of these stories going forward. That's Nosi Biko. She is the head of Cycles and Procurement at Danone South Africa, joining us virtually there from Rustenburg, and we thank her for her time this evening.